Russ Vought says the rifts have begun. Bloomberg News is reporting that they are in the thousands. Are you hearing anything more specific? And what will this do to negotiations, if they ever happen, or the standoff in this government shutdown?
Look, there's no reason to do rifts now. They could have done them 2 months ago. They could do them 2 months from now. They're doing them as an act of vandalism against the federal government, as if that will take revenge on the Democratic Party for not completely ceding all power. I mean, if it was up to Trump, there wouldn't be a Congress. So few dictators want a parliament messing up their lives, except to, North Korea style, to gather and cheer. And in fact, that's what Speaker Johnson has agreed to. He has sent Congress home. Not only are we not opening up the government, we're not doing any of the other business we're supposed to be doing, and much of it that we're very, very far behind in doing.
Congressman, I want to ask you, given your years in Congress, decades watching these sorts of spats go on, where do you put this into context? It certainly feels like this is an escalated tensions on the Hill right now. I'm reminded of your late colleague, Senator John McCain, joking that, if we try real hard, we'll get into the single digits on congressional approval in rough times then, 2 decades ago. Where does this fall? Are we at a new low in decorum on the Hill?
We're as low as we've been since the 1860s, and I wasn't around then. You can compare this to other shutdowns, but the level of division in the country and Donald Trump's personality and personal approach is throwing kerosene on the fire.
Well, we saw what happened with Mike Lawler getting into a shouting match with the Democratic leader. We saw Democratic senators standing in front of the Speaker's office making noise about Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know if you guys are going to start caning each other like we used to in the old days, but Congressman, to Michelle's point, you've been up on the Hill for a minute. How do you get around this? Or should we assume that when the cameras turn off, you're having a beer with your Republican colleagues?
We're not out drinking. We get along reasonably well, perhaps as well as you get along with the people where you work. But we are responding to our constituents who are divided. And so many Republicans are not only loyal to their constituents, they're loyal to the president, whatever he says, and not only technically but emotionally. That's what they feel, and it's divided. Does that mean that? If I'm walking into the floor of the House, that a Republican sticking out his leg to trip me so I fall on my face? No, that's not happening.
Well, Congressman, you mentioned Trump's approach is pouring kerosene on the fire. I want to ask you about something else today that's kind of in your lane, in the foreign affairs lane, his Truth Social message on China. How do you think this changes the game in the overall U.S.-China negotiations? How worried are you about not getting some sort of deal with China, and what are your constituents saying?
Well, they haven't responded to this tweet. It's so strange because for so many years I was here and diplomacy was handled carefully. And now it's an emotional tirade, sometimes at 3 a.m, directly from the president. That's not the way to conduct foreign policy. It's not the way any other president has conducted foreign policy. And we see China uses its control over rare earth elements, and America has done nothing over the last several years to weaken that control. We should have strategic reserves of all those rare earth elements, and we should have alternative supply. It is not true that all of the ore for those elements is in China. It's just they're the ones who have created the big industrial apparatus necessary to extract and refine them. That could be done elsewhere. But that's just one of the many things that Congress should have been focused on and should be focused on today. Except
well, so here we are
here in the Rayburn building, and there are no Republicans.
I said you were in California. Forgive me. By the way, it matters right now when members are here in Washington. When's everybody else coming back? The Senate apparently is going to be here next week now. But the vibe we're getting from any lawmaker, D or R, Congressman, is that this will be protracted. We're nowhere near an off-ramp, even as John Thune suggests privately that he may offer Democrats an up or down vote on extending Obamacare subsidies. Where are we? What inning are we in this shutdown?
Well, and offering a vote if you know you're going to lose is symbolic and perhaps nice, but not all that important. This is going to last a long time. Both sides are digging in. The base of each party isn't saying, how do you put this together? They're saying, stand up for our position. And I think as long as the focus is on healthcare, and that is where we have put the focus, the people will be with us. What should happen, of course, is a negotiation. We may not get everything we want on healthcare, but the current position of the Republicans is give us what we want, and we'll talk to you about whether we do anything that you want. That's not the way to treat a party that got 49% of the vote. And keep in mind, Republicans wouldn't talk to us in January, February, March, April, May, June, et cetera, about this healthcare cliff that we're about to fall over, where 22 million people will see their premiums more than double. And the letters are going out now. People have to decide whether to sign up for healthcare coverage. And as far as they know, it's at double the premium. They can't afford that.
Well, Congressman, there's certainly no shortage of big stories to ask you about today, but we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about the Middle East and the president's forthcoming trip to the region. How are you feeling about this tentative peace deal? Are there reasons to be optimistic, bright signs here, even though it feels like we've kind of been close to this before, only to see a setback?
Hopeful. Optimistic may be too strong a word, but if the hostages are released and Hamas is no longer in control of Gaza, then we can move forward. And it looks like that's what the settlement calls for. We'll see whether whether Hamas disarms and whether their leadership departs the region. But phase one is the release of the hostages, and that day can't come too soon.
Just got about a minute left, Congressman. If this does hold, should Donald Trump get the Nobel Peace Prize? He didn't make it today.
Look, you'd have to evaluate Donald Trump's actions on the world stage in total. And I don't think they're quite Nobel Prize winning material. But look, Hamas has been pushed into a small corner of Gaza. They realize that Israel can take that corner as well. And I think that it's not so much what the president has said. The deal that he has offered is very similar to what the Israeli negotiating position has been all along. Free the hostages and free the people of Gaza, 2 million of them, from oppression from Hamas.
No, he's on his way. Be there on Monday, apparently. Congressman, great to have you back. Brad Sherman, Democrat from California, thank you.